Hi everyone, you are welcome to Yvonne Winnie Freyuji, my beautiful fashionistas. Today we are making this beautiful off-shoulder kimono top, and it has ruched sleeves. And if you want to see how all that came into existence, let us start the video. So this is the fabric that I want to use. I've already folded my front and back pieces all together. We are cutting everything together. It has these beautiful colors, orange, brown, and turquoise blue. Here it looks like light blue, but it is turquoise blue. So my fabrics are on fold, both front and back. And what I considered to get the width is the half of the shoulder measurement, then plus the sleeve length that I'm going to use. We are cutting sleeve and the main top together because this is a kimono top. And guys, on top I think you're seeing I've left about 1.5 inches. You can even leave 2 inches. That is going to form the opening where our ruched strings will be passing. The length for this top after that 1.5 inches is 21 inches. You can do more, you can do less. So first I'm marking 7.5 inches as half of the shoulder measurement. So mark your half of the whole shoulder measurement because this is on fold. So all this is going to be the sleeve length. The rest of that measurement is the sleeve length. Here I have about 22 inches. So from our marked line, the allowance that we left on top of 1.5 inches from where we start, from our starting point, guys, I'm going down to where the bust line is. So you just mark where your bust line, or you just consider like about 10-11 inches there. About here I worked with 11 inches, counting even the sewing allowance. So I'm marking everywhere to mark my bust line. But guys, I'm sorry, my chalk was not so showing very well here. So what I decided is I corrected everything as you're going to be seeing. So keep around, you're going to see everything very clearly. So along that bust line, I just decided to mark a quarter of the hip measurement. Since this top goes up to the hip line, kind of the hip line, or close to the hip line, I worked with hip measurement, but you can work with your waist measurement plus some is allowance if you want this top a little bit tight and like that. So I marked the same even at the hemline of the top. Then I connected my lines. I think now they are visible like that. This is the bust line, and then I connected from the hemline to where my measurement or marking stopped. Then I curved a little bit like that because a human being is not, very pointy. I had to curve a little bit. So after there, I just cut out my marked piece like that, and it is just the same front and back, the same. So we don't need a neckline for this top. What I'm going to do next is to notch where my center front center back is, and also to notch where the shoulder measurement stopped, where the half of the shoulder measurement stopped, because this is on fold. So the way I folded my fabric, it's like front and top are all attached together. So at this point I'm separating the two so that I have the front separate and also the back separately. Remember guys, on top we left 1.5 inches for the ruching of the strings. That is the allowance for the ruching of the sleeves. So at this point guys, remember we've marked the center front, center back in the middle, and we have from the middle we have 7.5 inches, and even this side we have 7.5 inches. So altogether it is 15 inches. We are going to leave that open. From the middle, mark 7.5 inches on one side, and also from the middle, mark 7.5 inches on the other side. And where that 7.5 inches stopped, start sewing from there up to where the sleeve ends. But guys, before all that sewing, you have to make sure that you've hemmed all your sleeve opening or sleeve hemline. Please hem the sleeve opening first before joining along the shoulder. It will be easier to sew like that, and hem everything separately. one side of the front separately, the other side of the front separately, and also the one side of the back separately, the other side of the back also separately. So after joining along the shoulder, that is our allowance of 1.5 inches that we left at the top. Now we have an opening in the middle, and that opening forms our off-shoulder neckline that we are going to be using. So guys, here for me, at first I didn't finish the hemline, so that's why I told you please finish the hemline first, because it disturbed me. I had to unsew some parts to create the opening for the ruching sleeves, I mean strings. So after that, guys, we come to this allowance we left, and you just fold 1/2 inch on either side, then you fold, then you sew along. But as you're starting to sew, leave about 1 inch opening, or 1 or 2 inches, where our strings will be passing. And even at the end, you have to leave an opening where the strings will be passing through. Here at the sleeve hemming, you have to leave the opening even where the neckline opening started from. You have to leave the opening where you will pass your strings. So we will do the same on either sides. Then you just top stitch that allowance down on either sides like that. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll come back with a finished product, and also the strings that we are going to use. So this is what we have right now, guys. I've formed 2 strings, and each one is about 30 inches long, and in width it is close to 3/4 after all the sewing. Yes, so I have a safety pin, and one end of the string is finished, one end is not finished. So the end that is not finished, guys, it is where I'm going to it is what I'm going to place this side near the neckline, and this side near the hemline of the sleeve. The end of the string that is finished is what will be there at the end of the sleeve. Hope you're understanding me. Yes, so now I'm going to, remember we left an opening here close to the neckline. So with the safety pin, I'm passing through my string in this opening that we left for the strings on either side. I have a ruched skirt, and it explains very well all this. I'm going to link it below if you want to watch that video. Also, it will really help you if you've never done ruching. But also, I know this is clear. So I'm passing my string through like this. So the string should be smaller than the opening, so that it passes through, slides through like easily. So I'm passing it through. The length of the string was about 30 inches, so I considered the sleeve length, then I just added like 10 inches, because the sleeve length was about 20 inches. So you see, so I'm pushing it out the other side, but here I will be just top stitching. Let me just pin it down like that. Yes, so that is all that we do. And now at the right side, we will be just tucking it down so that it does not unravel, and it will create the ruching like that, guys. Yes, so that is what we do. I'm going to repeat the same for the other side of the same sleeve. Then after that side of the same sleeve, I'll bring most 2 strings and then put them on the other side of the another sleeve, and that is what we will do. And after all that, guys, I joined the sides, finished the hemline by just double folding by 1/2 inch, and the top is done. It is really quick because it is a kimono top, like it is simple, just as you see. That is it. Yeah, so I think you're seeing I just added my 2 strings, And along the neckline, guys, I just double folded and finished the neckline very neatly. That is how the neckline looks like. I closed the opening that we used to pass through these strings, especially I mean near the neckline. You have to close that opening. Yes, and if you want it to be tight, please add some ropes. And after everything, this is how the top looks like. This is the neckline that forms the off shoulder on top. You can make the off shoulder on either side, the side that you want. So before the ruching, the sleeves really look like long, and also even depending on the fabric or the material that you use. But if you want it free, it looks like this, very free, long sleeves. But if you want it tightened, as I've said, please add some ropes along the waistline. Yes, or a zipper at the back. And if you want it just free, like, and also ruched sleeves, the ruching of the sleeves helps this top to look more like beautiful. So I just pushed through the sleeves, ruched everything, and then I tie it on the side. But if you don't want, you can leave that, but depending on the fabric you're using. I see some people don't tie the strings after ruching, so even this side I'm trying to ruch, like push it upwards towards the neckline, then tie so that the ruching does not unravel. Then you can just style it any way you want, make it off shoulder or even not off shoulder, rock it any way you want. And you can even make it as a dress. When it is tight, it can look like this, very beautiful. I love the outcome. Yeah, so you do what you want. If you want it as a dress, you just lengthen your length. And if you want it as a top, you can do like this. If you want just the ruched sleeve, you add it onto any other style, do like that, like you do you. And guys, that's all. If you want to try it out, please go ahead. And thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to Yvonne Winifred UG. See you.